Okay, so I just wanted to make this video on, is AI taking over business? Are people losing their, I just want to talk about AI, okay? And are people losing their jobs? Which is the answer is definitely yes. And people are going to lose their jobs a lot quicker and a larger quantity over the coming months and years, and it's extremely scary. And you know, at first I wasn't very scared because I was like, I'm learning all of it as well. But you know what? I created a website for a client, a client, right? I could see that they needed a new website done, and I used my design skill, you know, the skill that I learned as a graphic designer in university, which puts me ahead of it. My layout, typography, kind of like my skills of marketing, and also looking at kind of like competitors and what they're doing to kind of like, you know, bring in leads, you know, different lead magnets and all of that. And I built this amazing website. It was still a beta. There's still some things that need to be done, but enough to kind of impress the person. I won't show you the website here. They asked how I made it. I said AI. I asked what AI. It's like Claude, and they were like, "Oh, we've been using Claude in all of our stuff." And he said that I was able to make a website in 15 minutes. Now, I took a day. I took a day to make the website. In all honesty, and when I say a day, I'd say like maybe like 16 hours. Yeah. So I guess you could say that's 2 days. About 16 hours to make the website, but it was kind of like all these little changes. And like I said, it wasn't just like a bog standard rubbish website. It was a good website, you know, more or less ready to go. But the point is that clients using Claude, you know, clients using Claude. This isn't like a, you know, the person in question. They're not like a web designer or anything. They're not a developer. They're a business owner. But like business owners are now marketers. They're now they as a business owner you have to fill in so many different hats that of course, like if you're hearing about AI left, right, and center, you're going to think, okay, how can I incorporate that into my business and how can I save on cost in doing that, right? So I might be shooting myself in the foot by creating this video, you know. But I'm always going to keep it a buck. I'm always going to keep it 100%. So is AI coming for jobs? Yes. In that case, for me, it may have well, you know, the client may well want the website that I designed, but they may not. They may just see everything that I've done and just kind of like copy it onto their thing, and and there you go, you know. But it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing. I, as a business owner, I I use AI heavily. I use it in my ideation. I use it to kind of cross reference things. I use it to draft things, you know. I never use it as a final output, you know, so that everything has my kind of like unique spin on it. But everyone says that. And if I'm being real, it's kind of sometimes I don't even know, you know what I mean? Because sometimes an AI will spin up something that is just as good, and you're just like, well, this is what I would have written anyway, and they're getting so good at kind of like knowing your voice and your tone as well, especially if you're someone like me who talks to it. So there's that. If you go on to LinkedIn, all it's like all of the I've seen videos where they automate it all. They automate it all, and it's all on an auto scheduling sort of thing, where the AI kind of like takes over the computer on this time on this day and does all the thing. You know, it does all the thing. It does all the scraping, all of the reaching out, all of the replying, all of the booking, and all of that. It does all of the newsletters, then turns newsletters into content, and then posts the content, and then analyzes the content, see what content would be good for ads, analyzes it against, compares, analyzes it against like the library, and posts it. And then it's just like, how do you compete with that? Well, you have to. You're kind of forced into like playing with it. Do you know what I mean? I remember when I was in. I don't want to talk too much about this client, you know, but I was with this client, and I asked them to kind of crop, just kind of like double check something before I sent it. Right, I can't remember what the thing was. Um, he asked, "Oh, did I write that in AI?" And I was like, yes, yes, yeah, somewhat, like some of it. Oh, I don't think you should use AI, blah, blah, blah. I'm just thinking, like, are you a mug? Everyone's using AI. That's what I was thinking. I was like, are you a mug? And then at the same time, I was thinking, like what you, like, surely you know this, like, you're an intelligent person, you're on the internet, right? You think that all of these articles on LinkedIn are just written by hand? Do you think people have time for that anymore? No. Like 99.999% of what you're seeing on LinkedIn, I guarantee you, AI, AI. Some of it is more obvious because people don't care. They'll use the AI videos to kind of like create cool stuff or whatever. Some of them don't care. They have the M dashes like dotted all around. Now, prior to the M dash takeover with I knew how to do that on a keyboard because in my first in my first job, in my first job, the studio manager, whenever we did like a email signature or like a flyer or something for an upcoming event, we'd always design it with an M dash because it just looked better. It just looked better. It made it made the sentence look a bit more aesthetic. So I always knew that, okay, if I do alt grammar dash, then I can do that longer dash. I didn't know it was called M dash. Actually, I did. I knew about M dash, N dash, and just like a normal dash. But I digress. You know, he said that to me, and I was like, okay, what are you trying to do here? And then he said something back, and I was like, you know what? The thing is, right? Some of the AI is so good that you just wouldn't know. You just wouldn't know that somebody's replying back to you. But you wouldn't know that it's an AI. And some of it is so bad that you would know. Some of it is so good that you wouldn't know. So how can you differentiate that? And then like as time goes on and it just gets better and better, then how can you doctor police that? You know, people are scared of losing their jobs. I get it, but we have to kind of move with the times. AI is taking jobs. AI is taking jobs. I'm here to let you know today. AI is taking jobs. Okay. So if you are not on the bandwagon, if you're not ready to, let me just tell you, the person who owns your company, the hiring manager, the MD, the C-suite, whoever, your manager, they're all thinking of ways of adding AI to the company to save cost. And do you know what the cost of the company is? Do you know what the main cost of the company is? It's you. It's you. The main cost of the company is you. So if they can find an AI that they can pay monthly, £200 a month to do what you do, or just remove a whole kind of like department of people and hire one person who can vibe code really well, what do you think they're gonna do? They've hired like a department, right? I'm speculating hypothetically, right? Hypothetical situation. They've hired a department of 6 people to do marketing, right? In total, this department costs the company 400k. Let's say 350k, right? £350,000 a year to hire all these people to make money for the company. And obviously, the company has different departments, and they need to make sales on all of that. They fire like even half of that department, or just take like all fire half of them, keep the higher lot, and take them on some training to learn some vibe coding. You know, I won't lie, man. It's compelling, even for like a small business owner. Why would I hire like loads of assistants when I can just, you know, learn AI, learn this, learn that. Do you know what I mean? I might get a lot of hate for this in the comments, but I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. You know, people need to wake up. Wake up. If your company is not if your company is not moving with this AI kind of like time, this thing, unless they are doing so very intentionally to kind of like retain some value and it's a value add by not using AI, right? So if it's like a customer service thing, or they hand wrap, they hand deliver, it's one of those crafty type businesses or whatever, then fine. But you can still use AI for things like copywriting and stuff like that. You can still do that. But if you want to do that, then fine. But if you run kind of like I don't know, like a digital business or something like that, you know, or business that has a lot of processes, like middle processes, that are just admin sort of tasks. Why wouldn't you just use AI for that? You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking. You know, in ways I'm thinking more and more of how can I kind of like turn my business, which is digital marketing meaning content creation, blogs, social media management, and all of that. How can I turn that, or email marketing, ads, all of that? How can I turn that all into something that is AI incorporated? And I have done that in ways, but I haven't done that in like a major way yet. So that's what I'm thinking of. Anyway, hope you enjoyed kind of like going on this thought kind of journey with me. Is AI coming for jobs? Yes. Doesn't have to come for yours. It might do though eventually. And I just want you guys to be prepared, because yeah, some of these businesses, they don't care. You know what I mean? They'll just replace you and all of that. I'm very anti corporate. I'm very anti corporate. I love the small business. I love the yeah, I love the people. But sometimes the corporate, or the businesses that try to be corporate, they just turn into like evil. It just turns really evil and nasty and mean as well. And I have images in my head of people that, you know, when I say things like this, I'll never say their names. I'm internet ready. But yeah, I just want you guys to be prepared for what is to come and what is happening. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, like, subscribe, comment below, and let me know like what your thoughts on AI is. Like, has it kind of crept into your company? Have you lost your job through AI? What are your thoughts on it? Are you anti AI? If you're anti AI, then just if you're anti AI, I just don't even know what to say to you. Or you can be anti it, but like you can be anti something and still kind of like know what you're doing, so that you can navigate in the world with it. You know, people are anti electric vehicles is happening. People are anti combustion vehicles. It happened, and people are anti flat screen TVs, anti television. Full stop. You know, anti cars. Full stop. You know, horse and carriage all the way. But things need to advance. Things need to keep progressing. There's going to be driverless cars soon. Maybe there'll be flying cars. I'm betting on flying cars, like in my lifetime. Anyway, hope you like this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.